Hey everybody, welcome back to War on the Sea, episode 2. We're going to pick up right where we left off in the last episode. You can see our aircraft, our Kates and our Vals are on their way back to the carrier, and all our scouting Zeros are on their way back to their home bases. So I've gone ahead and launched some more scout aircraft to do some scouting. That way when we recover our aircraft, we can turn them right back around and get them back facing the... just out there facing those fucking fleets that we were just after. I believe this one was a submarine. Can't remember. It's been too long. So we're going to kick it up, see what we can see. We have recovered the Vals and the Kates. Now we're just gonna get the Shokaku and our task force just doing a little bit. Oh shit! Stop. We've spotted that heavy cruiser, or that surface action group over here. That means we can get... I think I'm going to launch the Vals against them this time. Ignore that. So go here, launch aircraft, Shokaku, launch. We'll get the Vals going. Oh yeah, we lost a bunch of Kates last time. Forgot about that. Okay, we'll get the Vals up. And course this way. And we'll see what we can do about this. And tactical. Alright, as you can see out here, the enemy task force is definitely ahead of us. So if I remember correctly from last time, these ones in the center, these two, are our heavy cruisers, and we got light cruisers in the rear. And destroyers leading the way. So what we're gonna do here is have our Vals come just headed east here, line up a little bit better, because it is definitely a lot better to line up from the side than it is from any other angle. I just seem to get a lot more bomb hits doing it that way. So we're gonna line up a little bit better here before we make our attack. Keep it going just a little bit farther. And stop. Okay. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to have Flight 1 attack the forwardmost heavy. Orders attack. Second flight, led by number 5, also attacked the forwardmost heavy. And the third flight, led by number 9, is going to attack the rearmost heavy. Let's make sure that's attacking correct. Yep. And that is forced to attack. Excellent. So, we're going to get 2 flights attacking our forwardmost heavy here, and 1 flight attacking the rearmost heavy. That way we spread our damage out a little bit, but we're definitely doing plenty of damage, and hopefully we can sink with those heavies, especially after the damage they received from the torpedoes. So, let us see what we get. Enemy flak coming in heavy. Those 5-inch 38s and 5-inch 25s are definitely very powerful anti-aircraft weapons, and they can sure do a number on us. Flights 1 and 2 are going in now. Yep, definitely a heavy cruiser here, and a heavy cruiser there. Good hits along the first heavy cruiser, and good hits along the second one. We've lost his Val back there, and now, because these aircraft are going to try and swing back over the enemy aircraft, or the enemy ships, because they're a little bit suicidal. We're going to get them to course away here, so that they're not flying right back over the flak field. Alright, looks like we got some major fires aboard here. Let's go ahead and check it out. A little bit of a starboard list there. I'd say about 5-10 degrees. She's slipping out of formation. Ooh, this one looks... Ooh. This one looks like she's dead in the water. She is. Yeah, fire amidships might have done some damage to the boilers or the engine rooms there. Our aircraft are continuing to get away. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have the leader of number 10 climb and start a circle around the enemy. That way we can just keep observing them, make sure that they go down, or, well, make sure that they get as much damage in this encounter as possible. Because we don't want them slipping out of the encounter and magically repairing or anything like that. So, while we wait, I'm gonna let you go, and I'll bring you back in once something interesting happens. Looks like our number 4 heavy cruiser here just kicked the screws into action, so she got the boilers repaired, or the engines, or whatever was wrong with her, and she's now starting to make some speed. Not very good speed. He's, looks like just a little bit of a starboard list there. I don't think we're gonna get this one, but, I'm definitely sure we're getting this one. And just like that, number 3 is sinking. Yeah, that's a heavy list she's got going there. She would never have survived that. Alright, so our after-action report concludes that we have sunk 1 heavy cruiser, I believe this was the New Orleans class, for a grand total of 10,050 tons and 11 command points, with heavy damage and heavy flooding to a second heavy cruiser. So, heading back to the strategic map here, we're going to have all of these Vals that are now out of ordnance RTB, and get these Kates armed with 800 kilogram bombs. Just keep them a little bit safer up at altitude. And get those launched and headed this way. We're actually going to... oh, never mind. I got plenty of time. So yeah, we'll get these Kates headed this direction while the Vals are RTB. And we'll see what we can do. Alright, we've entered our tactical map here, and you can see the enemy ships off to our north here. Now, we've only got 4 Kates, so not a whole lot, but hopefully it'll be enough to do some damage to this big ol' heavy cruiser up here once we get it spotted. There we go. So, I'm not sure what the best option is for our Kates here, because these are going to level bomb. The Japanese were actually quite good at level bombing with their torpedo bombers. That's what sank the Arizona, actually. Not that she was moving or anything, but you know what? So, we're going to get these headed out here. We are currently at an altitude of 3,280 feet, about 3,300 feet. And we are going to get them lined up on the side here, and we're going to do another side attack, so that way we don't fly them over all of the flak. Looks like this heavy cruiser is turning out of formation here, so we're going to go ahead and start the attack now. And we'll see if we can get any bombs on target from up here at 3,300 feet in a level bombing attack with our Kates. Hopefully we don't lose any more, because as ineffective as torpedo bombing can be, it's definitely good to have the aircraft in reserve for when the Vals are on their way back. Actually, it looks like we should probably offset the aircraft a little bit farther off to starboard here. This heavy cruiser is slipping pretty hard out of formation. And almost there. And now let's restart our attack. And that's bombs away on the Kates. And we're gonna have them getting out of here. Let's see what these bombs do here to our big ol' heavy cruiser. Ooh, all missed, but some fragmentation damage here on the just after the funnel. And unlike last time, we're just gonna have the Kates get out of there as fast as they can, because obviously not a lot of damage we've done here to this cruiser. So no real reason to stick around too long. Alright, and like we expected, no real change to the damage on that heavy cruiser there, just heavy for damage and flooding. So we'll get these Kates back on their way to the carrier, and hopefully by now our valves are ready to go. No, not quite. Give it about 20 minutes here. Okay, now the valves are ready to launch. Let's get them up. And back on the way down. And we'll see if we can't sink that other heavy cruiser. There they are. Alright, so let's get these formations here turned around. Headed in a different direction so we can get a better spot on these ships. There we go. And line it up a bit better. Okay, looks like our heavy cruiser is going to try and slip out of formation again. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have number 1 attack. And just due to the damage on that cruiser, I think 1 squadron will be enough if we can get some good bombs on target. So, we're going to take number 5 and his squadron and attack the 4th ship in the column. And number 9 is also going to back up number 5 on that 4th ship. And we'll see how this attack turns out. That is bombs away. Good hits on the heavy. And good hits on the light. Let's get these aircraft headed out the correct direction. And hopefully this heavy cruiser here will go down. And we can even hope that this light does as well. And there she goes. This heavy cruiser is sinking. Looks like an amidships deck fire, and what looks like another midship's internal fire, and a stern internal fire. So plenty of fires on board, and there she goes. That right there is 2 excellent targets and 1 bomb run. Just like that, we can add another 18,750 tons to our total, and 18 command points. We are well on our way towards creating our first actual surface action group. Let's get these Val's RTB to the Shokaku here, and once these Kates have landed, we'll get them back up and headed around to see if we can't kill that other light cruiser. Ah, I see the issue. We've overrun air operations, so we're not going to be able to see them during the night. So, that task force is now free to do what it can for the next 12 or so hours. And our convoy here is on its way to Guadalcanal. Hopefully we'll get there. Well, we're going to have it hold short at Russell. And then it'll be on its way to Guadalcanal once we can clear out the area. And hopefully it'll get there in time to stop the enemy from getting any troops on the shore. Alright, good morning everybody. It is 05, and we are about to commence air operations once again. Get our scout aircraft up in the air, doing a little bit of search pattern down here through the slot. Get these aircraft out of Buka, searching for this submarine here. Because we do not want that submarine to be sneaking up on our carrier task force. I'm going to launch some Bettys, actually, from here in Rabaul, with torpedoes on board, just in case we find anything a little interesting that we want to deal with. Some more zeros here. Just scouting the area. And of course, zeros here as well. And hopefully we'll be able to find something. Well, our aircraft are on their way back to their bases. They've found nothing of interest, so I'm going to get our convoy here moving and launch some Vals from Shokaku to cover them in. Hopefully we can get them on station for enough time to get that task force or that convoy in there. Alright, we are unloading all cargo onto Guadalcanal and getting that convoy headed back to Rabaul to pick up some more troops and supplies, get them down onto Guadalcanal. But we do have enough supply and fuel here to create our first level airfield in Guadalcanal, which will very much help because now we have range on our zeros out to almost be able to see the enemy's base here in New Hebrides. So we're gonna have our zeros do a little bit of search leg like here, and the most likely path of retreat for that surface action group. And maybe we'll be able to catch them up and ambush them with some Vals. Though if they're too much farther past the Solomons here, we may be out of range of our Vals. Alright, so our Zeros have just spotted what looks to be an enemy heavily guarded convoy on their way up towards Guadalcanal, consisting of 2 destroyers, 2 heavy cruisers, and 6 merchants. Now, our main priority should likely be to kill these merchants before they can land troops and supply on Guadalcanal. We don't need our troops, currently only 1,400, to be in open war with American troops. So we need to get these transports sunk before they can make landfall. Unfortunately, our task force is a little bit out of range now. I've moved them back around the Santa Isabel Islands to get them into the slot, give them a little bit better of a range, and be mostly protected by the islands around them. So we'll be out of range for just a while. Hopefully, we'll be able to get our aircraft in the air before anything too bad happens. So let's launch some Zeros here, just to keep an eye on that convoy. Or that. Shit. Well, unfortunately, night has fallen, and we can no longer have air units up, and the convoy has made it to Guadalcanal. So it looks like we're going to be in an open war against American troops here pretty soon. Fortunately, we are well within range now to get some aircraft off the deck as soon as light breaks. And hopefully we'll be able to sink those heavy cruisers. Now those merchants are no longer the priority target, because they've done their job, they've released their troops. We will no longer prioritize the merchants. We will sink those heavy cruisers, and as soon as the heavy cruisers are sunk, then we get to go after the merchants. So I will see you as dawn breaks, and we will launch some aircraft. Alright, good morning everybody. That's not the button I wanted to press. We are launching aircraft from Shokaku here in an attempt to chase down those heavy cruisers. Hopefully, we can pick them back up again. Let's launch scouts out of Guadalcanal to check which way they've gone. See if we can't find them here. There they are. These aircraft headed off in this direction. Alright, merchants in the rear, heavies leading them, and destroyers in the front. Let's get these aircraft actually coming just a little bit farther north. We don't want to stray too far into the flak field here while we're setting up our attack. Alright, so we're gonna have number 1 attack ship 3. Oop, that's ship 4. I can't count. Don't mind me. Number 5 will attack ship 4. And number 9 will support number 1 on ship 3. Okay. Let us see how this attack goes. Plenty of hits on ship 3 there. Plenty of hits on 2. It sounded like there was a dud as well on ship 2 there. Or ship 4, correction. Alright, let's get these aircraft headed away. And see what we can see. Plenty of fires amidships here. Let's count the hits. 3 got hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 detonating hits on number 4 and 2 duds. So some pretty major damage here to the Pensacola up front. And, not so much damage here on... Ooh, there is probably a 40mm magazine detonation. Oh, and there goes number 3. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see here. We want to get these heavy cruisers sinking. Alright, there's another 9,000 tons added to our total. 11 more command points. We are continuing on our way towards getting a surface action group up. Heavy damage, moderate flooding to the second heavy cruiser there. Hopefully we can finish the job here soon. I think that we're going to give our Kates another try. All fucking 4 that we have left. You can leave 1 back on the carrier to replace any losses we may undertake. If this game would load. Holy fucking shit. Please don't crash, because I haven't saved in a while. Alright, let's get these Vals returning to the carrier. And we're going to give our torpedo bombers another chance here. See if we can't do anything about this remaining heavy cruiser. Aha. Let us enter the tactical map here. And there they are. We're actually flying in a pretty good course to set up here. Let's get down on the deck. See our heavy cruiser out here off in the distance. Looks like they put the fires out, which is good, because we'll just start some more fires. Will be ship 3, prepare to attack. And that seems like a pretty decent attack course, so let's go ahead and hit the attack button here. We're gonna circle down to a better altitude. And we'll make our torpedo run. those torpedoes away. And 1 Kate down, 2 Kates down. All 4 torpedoes in the water, though. Looks like 1 dud and 2 detonations on the starboard side. She's picking up speed and attempting to slip out of formation. Looks like she's put out all her fires, so we're gonna get these Kates back to the carrier and launch our valves once again. Well, it looks like the situation has changed. We've respotted that second convoy. Apparently it was 2 different convoys. So we're going to get our valves headed off towards that next convoy, see if we can't sink some of the merchants before they can get to Guadalcanal and resupply and reinforce their troops. There they are just ahead. Let's get everybody changing course. Alright, our plan here is to sink as many of these merchants as possible. So, ship 5 through ship 10 are all going to be merchant ships. So we're going to put Squadron 1 on number 6, Squadron 5 on number 5, and Squadron 9 is going to support on number 5 because there's only a 2-ship evals, so the likelihood of them doing some major damage to another cargo ship are not high, so we're just going to support on that number 5 ship to hopefully make sure she goes down. Let's see what happens here. So, looks like some pretty major hits on all parties. Oh yeah, plenty of fires. We've lost 1 Val so far. This one doesn't look too awful bad, but we'll see what she looks like here in a few minutes. Number 5 here is going down, which is excellent. This is exactly what we're looking for. Do not need these things getting to Guadalcanal. That would be very bad for the ground troops there, who are already being overrun, and likely won't be able to receive reinforcements for a couple of days. And this second ship is going down. Excellent. That is 2 out of 6 cargo ships going down. Are these all C3s? They all look like C3s. Yep. So these ships can be loaded with anything from troops, supplies, and engineering supplies, but no fleet oilers. Alright, we sunk 24,000 tons of cargo for 10 command points gained. And I think we're going to leave it here for the second episode of War on the Sea. We'll get these Vals returned to their home carrier. In the next episode, we'll be launching them again to try and intercept those merchants once more, so that we can stop them from reinforcing and resupplying their troops here on Guadalcanal. Have a good day, everybody, and I will see you in the next episode.